want to like divide these into like 4 groups. So we'll do like the emails in between each of the 4 clusters. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 things from here. All right, that's easy enough to divide up. And then there's or should we count those 2 things we just did as part of the first group? Crap. Okay, hold on. So we'll say there are 6 things here, and we've already done 2 of them. And there are 3 things here. And there were, what, 6 things here as well, so that's like 12. And 12 is divisible by 4. So if we do like 3 each, right? 3, and then some emails, and then another 3. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. Okay. I feel like we should save the bonus features for last, probably. So we'll do it like the first scene from the trip then. We'll do it Misty does first, sure.
It must be some species or other of Nepenthes. And over here is the famous Venus flytrap, Dionia muscipula.
I have no idea if I pronounced these right.
I did not know there were any in Japan. Usually this only grows in the southern United States. Am I being boring? I feel like I'm being boring. No, not at all. I'm just reading about the digestive process here. Apparently it uses plumbagon, which is very interesting. How so? It's a toxin that can trigger cell death, a type of naphthoquinone. It can also create oxides, including H2O2, in combination with organic materials found in the prey. And those oxides are very corrosive, good at breaking things down. So it uses that and a bunch of enzymes to break down whatever is trapped in there, including a special chitinase that specializes in breaking down chitin, which a lot of insects have. Fascinating. Yes. Thanks for coming with me to the gardens here. I really wanted to visit. Natsuki was willing to do some boring stuff with me, but she drew the line at a bunch of plants. And while I could have gone by myself, I think it's more fun when you have someone else to share something like this with. Oh, I definitely agree. I wasn't trying to do you a favor by coming here. I genuinely enjoy this stuff. Yes, I know you do. It seems a great mystery to me. What, that I like science stuff? Why would that be a mystery? No, not that you like science. That is uninspiring. But rather that other people do not. It is a magnificent and glorious thing to know. It sure is. I ask myself that sometimes. I do not understand how other people aren't constantly in wonder at the way the world is constructed and how it works. All those little details. They're astonishing. Yes. But people just go on and live their lives, as though we aren't all comprised of trillions of cells, each of which is comprised of trillions of atoms. And each of those cells an entire vast ecosystem and factory. Not that biology is my primary fascination, of course.
Game, work.
But it's remarkable that people do not feel a constant sense of awe from it. I do. I know you do. But most people don't.
Well, it's easy to take for granted.
I think maybe more people do than you think. Including more of your students than you think. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Huh, you think so? It's hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes I think a kid is getting into it, and then I'm quite wrong. At least to judge by test scores. But I try to tell myself that a C is not always a problem with enthusiasm. And maybe I just need to teach better. Maybe if I put in just that little bit of extra effort, that kid will be able to not just like the subject, but master it. And then I put in all the work and the kid gets a C+. Hard to tell if it's worth it sometimes. Do you think it is? I think so. I wouldn't put in all this work otherwise. Then I hope that your work may be rewarded. Oh, there's an arid plants exhibit over here. I wanted to have a closer look at some of these tropicals. You go ahead, I'll be right there in a moment. Okay. Things are going to be so different now that they are gone. Yuri, she's one of the only students I've ever had who really understood science. Or who thought that it was really, or what it was really all about. In the whole club, they're the only students of mine I've had who I feel really understand me. Some of the only people who ever have. It feels strange leaving them behind. Or having them leave me behind, I suppose. What am I going to do with myself? How can I just go back to normal and pretend life is just like it always has been? Oh, Masita, you have to come see some of these cacti. I'm very sorry to disturb you, but they're most remarkable. Is everything all right? You seem troubled. Oh no, Yuri, it's fine. Show me this cactus. I am not the most emotionally intelligent person, but even I know when someone feels down. Are you quite sure you don't want to talk about it? Well, all right. I was just thinking about how you all are moving on with your lives. and leaving me behind, so to speak. And that's okay. That's normal for a teacher. We see one group of students come and another go. We constantly have these people entering and then leaving our lives. I'm very used to it. But it seems different a bit with you guys. You yourself, you are one of the finest, if not the finest student I've ever had. You are the only one whose enthusiasm for science, whose understanding for why it is important, is similar to mine. And I will miss you. But really, I'll miss all of you. I'll miss students coming to understand who I am for a change. Usually it's the other way around. And, well, that's it, I suppose. Well, we certainly are moving on with our lives, that is true enough. But just because we are moving on does not mean we are leaving you behind. Of course you are not coming to college, but this will not be the last you see of us or we of you. We share a very important and considerable bond, one that we will need to maintain for the sake of the entire reality we inhabit. But far more importantly, we are allowed to be friends still. You are still here with us on this trip, right? Yes, that's true. I guess I came here in part because I wanted to affirm that we could still be friends. Well, I'm glad to still be friends. And I know everyone else is as well. Well, that makes me glad. Now let's see this cactus you were talking about. Gladly. Oh, it's a starfish cactus. Stapelia hirsuta. You know it. I do.
Alright, that was 3 things. So now, emails. Lots and lots. Part 1. Here we go.
Okay, everyone, time to answer some emails. Oh, but I was looking at YouTube videos. You can look at the YouTube videos later. Hopefully when we're not all crowded into Monica's hotel room. Yeah, sorry about that. We could do downstairs where we probably get looks from the public. Probably. Alright, so without further ado, here we go.
One for everybody, but mainly Natsuki. As I said, I changed and got exposed to a lot more I was sheltered from, like the idea of trans people and stuff. But now, even though I'd say I'm good and accept everybody, when it comes to that instead of sexuality and stuff, I accept it, but don't fully believe it, and I feel bad. It's so ingrained in my brain that no matter how hard I try, I just can't fully see someone as something else, usually, but that's why I still accept them and don't see or say anything bad for anything like that. But I still feel bad for not being able to actually believe or accept it like it seems I should. Well, my dude, the way gender ideology has been trending, how to say this tactfully? You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe things that are fundamentally untrue. Like, I wish, and it seems like things are going in this direction anyway, but I do wish that, like, trans people could be more, accepting of what they are. Like, a trans woman is a man that, like, associates with and, participates in things typically associated with women, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, the people who take it too far are the ones who are like, no, they are female. They're indistinguishable from actual women. No, that's like a delusional level of support that these people don't really need. Like, heck, a lot of actual trans people are, like, fed up with the direction gender ideology has gone, as far as I know. But anyway, yeah, you shouldn't feel bad about that. And no one should, because, like, you can't deny reality forever. It's gonna come back and clock you sooner or later.
Oh boy, we're starting off heavy today, I see. You never know what we'll get with the emails. You good to answer, Natsuki? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on this one, bud. I was once as you are. Having a trans sister obviously is a big shock to your system if you are not in tune with this kind of thing. That's what did most of the work for me. But it seems like you're trying the best you can, and that's cool. You can't control how you see people, like, internally. But you can control how you treat people, and that's what matters. I started off treating my sister as a woman, even though in my mind I was like, it still kind of seems like a guy. But now I'm doing a lot better. And not just with my sister. I see a trans person, doesn't matter if they pass or not, as soon as I know what gender they identify as, boom, my mind registers them as that gender. And I think of them that way, like, automatically. Or at least after a little while. So don't fret, bub, just control what you can control and treat people respectfully. That's all anyone's gonna ask of you.
Two, for everybody. I met a friend on Discord who's very similar to me, and we get along so well in ways we never could with other people and such, and like me, he doesn't like a lot of guys, but we have feelings for each other, more so based on the personality and everything and not just looks, a lesson I wish I realized in high school. Anyway, as much as we like each other, I live in America and he lives in Germany. Though we could be amazing to be with, I know I just can't just wait and do nothing since I really want a relationship, something I've felt deep in my heart for years. Any suggestions? I'm scared either way because I'm afraid if I did find someone else, they wouldn't be as accepting of some things and I'd have to compromise more. But we both know it's not really possible at the moment for us to meet or anything for multiple reasons.
Man, long-distance relationship question. I am not qualified to answer this part. Monica, Miss Ida? Why are Monica and I the ones you think should answer this? I don't know, Monica's sort of in a long-distance relationship. And you're a wise grown-up with lots of experience. More than long-distance relationships. But here's my wisdom, as such as it is. I don't know how old you are, but it seems like you're at least a high school graduate. I'd say talk to this person and have fun online, but don't make any huge investment unless or until it looks like a proximate relationship is possible. And if it doesn't, be prepared to accept that. What do you think, Monica? I essentially agree with Miss Ida. You can't really let yourself get too attached when the overwhelming probability is that it'll never work out. Interesting. Yes, hypocrisy, I know. But in this person's case, it really is the best advice.
For everybody, maybe Sayori a bit more, but not sure. This kind of ties into some of the above questions a little. I don't know my own opinions anymore. Whether it just be an opinion on a movie or politics, I see both sides to everything, and I always feel like I'm in a mental tug-of-war, and I end up arguing with everyone, and I don't even know why. Is it to defend the other side, a troll, or what I actually believe? I can't tell anyone, or I can't tell anymore, and that's what confuses and worries me, because I seem like a hypocrite. It just stresses me because there's parts of me that just want to argue for no reason, and others that want to please everyone, and unlike others who are adamant on their views, I go back and forth and see both sides to every issue somehow, and don't know what to think anymore.
Oh, for me, I can't really tell why you asked me this question. I mean, it's a blessing to be able to see both sides of everything. But ultimately, it's not the same as believing in both sides of anything. Arguing with others for the sake of it is not a trait that will make you a lot of friends. Yet sometimes it can even be very hurtful. So I'd say you have to temper your ability to see both sides of everything with judgment. Judgment about what the actual right side is. You have to be able to make good decisions about what you see on both sides. And not just badger both sides just because you can. It's not a good idea.
I would also say it's kind of presumptuous to assume that one side is always right. For everybody, since I'm not sure if anybody can fully relate, possibly Natsuki, but not sure, I feel like I've become more sadistic. I'm usually the funny, wholesome guy, but just in the last couple months I realized when I watched movies or play video games, I laugh hard and get such entertainment out of the things that make others gasp in horror. I also like dark humor like Sayori. I guess because I've gotten desensitized and know it's fiction, but it still seems from other people that I have to feel and react a certain way. Even when I was a kid, I always rooted for villains and stuff instead of the heroes because they seemed cooler in design and everything. And then when it came to video games, I was the type to always make the dark choices or just see what the game would actually let me do and whom I could kill and such. I'm just realizing more that it seems worse now maybe, but like the other question, I see both, and while I'd never hurt anyone with the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other thoroughly enjoys it, at least in fiction and such. Just wondering if this is a concern or normal and I'm overthinking. Well, that depends on whether you start, treating people in real life like you treat them in video games. Because in video games, it doesn't count. They're not real. You can't hurt anything. But real people can be hurt and harmed in many terrible ways if you desensitize yourself to their humanity. So just don't let that happen.
Man, you are getting even heavier, dude. I mean, it's sort of normal. A lot of people around our age like to get into dark stuff. And think they're super twisted and sadistic. That whole Chunibu thing, you know?
I do not.
Maybe that's what's going on with you. Maybe you just want to see yourself as different, and this is the way you're doing it by building this self-image. But if you're not, actually hurting anyone, I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, there you go.
There's nothing wrong with dark humor. Status is a little weird, I guess, but again, doesn't sound like you're hurting anyone. So on the whole, I'd say you're probably fine.
For Monica, Yuri, Natsuki, and Sayori, but I guess also I'm seeing Missy this since my memory is bad, so basically everyone. A more lighthearted but still actual question. What is it like when you're the president and the player keeps it on a screen without advancing? Like if they had to do something all of a sudden. So you're stuck in the same pose and dialogue with music in the background. How was it like for you from your perspective?
I'll take this one. We don't notice anything when you sit on the same screen. Time advances normally, even if you're the club president. The only exception is if there's some game thing going on that gives me that information. Sometimes some menu choice would be coded to record how long you spend on it, perhaps. Then I know. I don't experience the lag, mind you. I just know once you move on how long you took. But even that is rare. Mostly we don't notice at all. Phew, that's all for the first one. Natsuki, what? You wanted to move us along?
You're asking me to bring back that biz?
I mean, he seems to like it.
I couldn't possibly. Next!
Well, actually, I kind of need to stop, because, well, we might have time for one more. Alrighty, questions. Has anyone played Doki Doki Takeover? If so, what's your favorite song? What do you think of DDLC Plus? What kind of desserts do you want to eat? If anyone is real, just if, are you considering to take a vacation to the Philippines?
I'm not sure who of us has played Takeover, which we've gotten a lot of emails about. Is it a good one? Let us know.
I played an emailer, but I'll answer your question in whatever other email about it we get, okay?
I think overall we liked DDLC Plus a lot. The side stories are really let you see what our normal dynamic with each other was before all this happened. We really are just a pretty ordinary group of friends, but not affected by extraordinary circumstances. As for the overall framing device of the company that's running the simulation, well, I've talked about it before, but I have no idea if that's true or not. I suspect it's not, it's just a narrative device. But even if it's true and we were being experimented on, I honestly don't blame them. Because it sounds like they themselves are simulations and they were just trying to understand things better. They didn't do anything I wouldn't have done, basically. Hopefully that answers your question. Alright everyone, what about desserts? Messina?
Actually, before we get into them with their desserts, I am going to drop that save because I need to stop ever so slightly early because I have, I gotta attend my online D&D session, and we had just enough time to record, is basically what it amounts to. That's going to do it for now, so thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with more Club Meetings Season 3 post-game. Hope to see you then! Bye-bye!